timeless voices of the eternal church.
Dirk Willems. Whereas Dirk Willems, born at Aspirin, at present a prisoner, has without torture and iron bonds or otherwise, before the bailiff and us judges, confessed that at the age of 15, 18, or 20 years, he was rebaptized in Rotterdam at the house of one Peter Willems, and that he, further in Aspirin, at his house, at diverse hours, harbored and admitted secret conventicles and prohibited doctrines, and that he also has permitted several persons to be rebaptized in his aforesaid house, all of which is contrary to our holy Christian faith, and to the decrees of his royal majesty, and ought not to be tolerated, but severely punished, for an example to others. Therefore, we, the aforesaid judges, having with mature deliberation of counsel examined and considered all that was to be considered in this matter, have condemned and do condemn by these presents in the name and in the behalf of His Royal Majesty, as Count of Holland, the aforesaid Dirk Willems, prisoner, persisting obstinately in his opinion that he shall be executed with fire until death ensues, and declare all his property confiscated for the benefit of His Royal Majesty. So done this the 16th of May in presence of the judges Cornelis Govertz, John van Steeg Jans, Adnaan Gerritz, Adnaan Jans, Lucas Rotgers, Jan Jans and Jan Rofelofs in AD 1569. The death sentence of this dear believer might have been lost among the dusty legal records of the town of Aspirin in South Holland had it not been for an event that distinguished him from the 4,000 to 12,000 other Christian martyrs of this era. After his initial apprehension, Dirk escaped, but not cleanly. Hot on his trail, his guard followed Dirk across the thin ice on one of the many canals in the region. Dirk, being light, possibly as a result of deprivations while in prison, made it across safely, but his pursuer, called a thief catcher in the old records, broke through the ice into the frigid water. As Dirk scrambled up the bank to safety, he looked back and saw that his nemesis was drowning. Even though he had a clear shot at freedom, Dirk turned back and at considerable risk to himself, ventured back out onto the cracking film and rescued the man. The grateful thief catcher wanted to let Dirk go, but the mayor, who had apparently arrived on the scene by this time, demanded that the thief catcher remember his oath to uphold the law and insisted that Dirk be taken into custody again. Let the court decide his fate. And it did. The day of Dirk's execution was blustery, and the wind whipped the blaze to his side so that it did not quickly engulf his whole body. Consequently, he suffered severely and cried out over 70 times, "O my Lord, my God," so loudly that he was heard in the nearby town, but he never recanted or cursed his persecutors. Dirk's suffering was so great that the judge assigned to oversee his execution turned his horse around so that he did not have to watch, and finally ordered the executioner to dispatch Dirk more quickly. Possibly no other story coming out of the Reformation has inspired more Christians to love their enemies than this simple tale recorded in full detail in Martyr's Mirror. When we were utterly helpless, Christ came at just the right time and died for us sinners. Now, no one is likely to die for a good person, though someone might be willing to die for a person who's especially good. But God showed His great love for us by sending Christ to die for us while we were still sinners. From Romans 5, verse 68.
Reading from the complete book of Christian heroes, over 200 stories of courageous people who suffered for Jesus, compiled by Dave and Neta Jackson. This is the Eternal Church of Jesus Christ, the record.